Mungus Jake here after a short break here to start off the summer, and I'm going to be coming back with a few reviews, and then we're going to hit some mods up for the coming week after my reviews are posted. First up is going to be a long-awaited review of the Nerf rival Sideswipe. Now this is in their Curveshot series, which has the gimmick of a adjustable hop-up that you can turn the muzzle around, and as they show and portray, your shots are going to be able to curve around corners. I'm going to actually showcase a live firing demonstration of that here later in the video, so you can see for yourself how that works. And then I'll, of course, go through the normal review of giving my thoughts and opinions on the blaster itself. Now what this is a built-in magazine, spring-powered, bolt-action rival firing blaster. It holds a capacity of 12 shots, and it has an ambidextrous bolt. This is threaded in, comes of course detached in the package, and you can put it on either side. So mostly ambidextrous. The safety is also ambidextrous. It is on both sides. However, the loading of the magazine is only on the left side of the shell. So not fully ambidextrous, because if you're a lefty, which I'm ambidextrous myself, so I do test blasters with both right and left hand firing procedures. And if I'm going to be firing this as a left-handed person, I have to then tilt the blaster, open the port, because you load the magazine here by loading in your rounds, and it, again, Nerf is doing the whole thing of only giving you enough ammo for one loading. You'd have to load it from this side and let them roll in. It's not that bad, but it does cater more to a right-handed person than a left-handed. It holds 12 in its stock configuration, and that's going to be part of something I go more in on the review. And of course then, once you have some rounds in and your bolt is secured, then you simply cock it back and go forward, and it has actually a very short stroke, and that's going to lead into part of the performance when I get to it. And fire. Simple as that. It's a typical procedure for a spring-powered blaster. Now, it advertises being able to curve your shots and hit 90 feet per second. Let's go ahead now at this point. Let me show you that live firing demonstration here. Okay, I wanted to showcase the actual adjustable hop-up of the Curveshot series here, and I have a full load of 12 rival rounds. I will fire each of them at the central boomco target here, and I'm going to keep my aiming point the same. I'll fire 3 with it in the up position, 3 with it left, 3 with it lowered, and 3 to the right. So you get to see exactly how it performs. So I will keep it right here, and you're going to see me fire all 3. We're going to start with standard up position. Three shots. Now we're going to turn to the left. As you can see there. Now down. Now to the right. And this is at a distance of about 30 feet. You can see that the hook is enough to make it sail off as much as about 5 feet to the right or to the left. And we have 2 here, right down here, that didn't even make it. And that's with the downward hook. The vertical placement is enough that it will actually, shoot as a standard rival would, with a little bit of hop up and decent accuracy. Let's get back to the review. And now coming back, let's take a look. I've saved the package for this here. You can see here, they want to show you that you're curving around a 90-degree wall. You're not going to do that. It's kind of a curveball effect. Not it's a little more pronounced than a actual pro level pitch, but it's certainly not going to be like a heat-seeking rival round that goes around the corner, turns, and hits somebody. So let's just get this out of the way right now. The adjustable hop-up, as in being able to turn it to the side or down, that actually might be the most effective use of it. And I could see you actually firing it up, intentionally letting it curve down to hit somebody behind a small barrier. Around a wall, that's not going to happen. Because, again, walls are 90 degrees. And if you're poking around a corner, you're going to have this shoulder and you're going to just pop out, fire, and get back in cover. You're going to be right around the corner. And again, yes, it does curve, but it doesn't curve a sharp 90-degree angle and come back at somebody. So, is it a gimmick? Yes, it is. The usability of the feature would remain to be seen, and I don't really think it's that usable. So, I'll evaluate it knowing that Nerf tried to make a gimmick for this whole series, and while it actually does a bit of what it advertises, it doesn't do it to the degree they show on the package, so that is a little exaggerated. However, this is only $19.99. That's not overpriced. So it's not like they took the gimmick and said, oh, let's jack up the price $10, which would be, 33% increase. Well, that actually, retail price, that'd be a 50% increase over the $19.99 current price. So, let's keep reviewing the blaster as just a blaster in and of itself. Let's go for key points. What do I actually think of it, barring the curve shot feature? Well, it's a pretty solid blaster overall. It has pretty good ergonomics, barring one thing. The stock is too short. I mean, this is in the weird spot where, as you can see, if I pinch my arm back, I mean, we're really choked up on this. So, I'm trying to show that here. I'm really choked up on it. So, if I were to get in a comfortable position, I got to go about 6 or 7 inches forward. Now, looking at the design of the blaster, they could have easily made this be a sliding adjustable stock. And it could have been to where this is like the collapsed version, and there's a partial extension, full extension. They could have. If it made it a $25 blaster, okay. Because at that price point, they also had room for one other thing. Like I said, this holds 12 shots. And it's bolt action. So rate of fire is not what you're after. That's decent rate of fire. However, with 12 shots loaded, the magazine follower stops about here. Well, let's look at this. It stops here. This is dead space back here. This is all dead space. So 12 shots is the current stock capacity. You could easily put in this dead space 3 to 5 more shots. And if they needed to slightly extend the plastic out, I think they should have. You could have had anywhere from a 15 to a 20 round capacity, add in a adjustable stock, and you could have actually had a nice bolt action rival primary. I mean, this thing has no rail on it, but it does have nice clean lines, very nice aesthetics, and I mean, it only has the rival colored in on the one side. It doesn't even have rival on the other side at all. They just said forget that. I guess people teased them about painting one side, and they said, well, we're not even going to paint it. We're not even going to put decals or any kind of emblem of any kind over here. But I actually like the coloring. It is my colors. If you've watched the channel much, black, orange, and white are Team Mongoose mountain bike and BMX colors. And that's, of course, where my name comes from my time racing mountain bikes. So I like this. Now, another knock against it. You've been hearing me move this around. The fit and finish is pretty good look-wise. This is pretty creaky. And most of the creak is coming from this right here. The junction of the two parts of the grip. Unfortunately, that means every time you hold it, every time it moves, every time you grip it, you're going to hear that. So, a little knock against it. So, final opinion. Oh, and this rattles. If you're running around with it and firing, yeah, you hear this. Non-stop, like running, you hear that. whether you're somebody who that's going to bug or not, just be known ahead of time. It does that. And here's my final opinion on it. But before I do that, let me mention the performance, and this is part of it. It advertises 90 feet per second. I only had 2 shots out of a total testing of about 50 actually hit that mark. I had a 90 even and a 90.8. All the rest of my shots fell in the 86 to 89 range. So it's not quite hitting the mark. And that's, again, about 50 shots over the chronograph. So it's enough of a sample size to, get a feel for it. But it's like, I want to like it. It actually looks sharp. It feels pretty solid outside of the grip rattle, or grip creaking, and that rattling latch. And the fact that it's a bolt action. I like bolt action, so I am a little biased. But the stock is too short, and it's, as a pistol, it's pretty big. That's its primary size. And it only holds 12, when they could have easily, which that's a skimp, they could have easily made that follower come on down around and held 15 at least. At least. Because it, like I said, 12, once you load them up, which, they're easy to load. I can't fault it on that. You load them there, and 12 gets down around here. And they have made it to where you can easily see how many you have on both sides. They have these little clear dots as we come in here, and you can see your ammo load both ways. So that's kind of nice. So there's a lot of positives here. And at $19.99, that's not a bad pricing. However, it has some really good competition. The Adventure Force Titanium and the Dart Zone Powerball are 2 really good blasters that both come in at cheaper. Nerf's own Takedown is a better option. So unfortunately, this isn't a bad spot. It's a decent blaster with better competition, even from Nerf's own lineup. So I'm going to leave you with that. Decent blaster in a tough spot. This is Mungo Jake saying thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.